As voice talent, we yearn for those times where we can get in front of an agent or manager or casting director, you know, the ones that we think hold the keys to the kingdom.
And then when we do, like when you get into an industry pro event with us at the studio and it's time for questions, we just sit there with our eyes wide open, tails wagging. And for me in the past, it's been like Chris Farley in that SNL skit when, hey, remember when you were talking about that thing on Zoom? Yeah, that was awesome.
All right, no. Let's stop doing this as talent. Today, we're going to talk about questions to ask agents or managers, casting directors or producers, and creative directors.
Talent of all ages and at any experience level can benefit from this video, especially if you're not very good at asking questions like this guy. Hey, I'm Mike.
And I'm Heidi. We both run the Atlanta Voiceover Studio and ProVoiceoverTraining.com, where our mission is to equip, elevate, and inspire you in your VO journey.
Now, back when hit, we were all a little unsure of what was going to happen and how we'd all be affected.
Since Mike and I are voice talent, we knew not only the uncertainty of running a business, but also from the voiceover talent side.
We were trying to think of a way to encourage voice talent and continue to create relationships while being quarantined. And then this one got the bright idea of a virtual industry pro workout.
Yeah, and this wasn't, and to this day, isn't a money-making event for the studio, but rather a way for you to connect and receive feedback from a VO agent or manager, casting director, creative director, or producer.
And we began doing it the first Tuesday of every week, and it was awesome. It brought us life, just seeing so many talent encouraged during a dark time.
And there were a bunch of talent who joined us for those virtual events who ended up creating real relationships, joining agency rosters, booking work, and so much more.
Once quarantine was lifted, we decided to continue the industry pro workouts at the same time each month, bringing in more pros.
And if you want to be a part, make sure you sign up for our email newsletter, as we let people there know first, and that's how you sign up. And in case you're watching this and haven't participated before or have no clue what it's about,
well, the format that we use is that we open it up and introduce the industry pro and then ask them to share a bit about their journey.
And that's because in any relationship, it's one-sided if it's only about us. They're people with feelings and lives, and their story is just as valuable as ours.
And after they share, the talent will read for the industry pro and then receive feedback. And we try and do that twice if time allows. And then the talent have the opportunity to ask the industry pro questions.
Now, we 100% know what it's like to be a talent and be so focused on the end goal of
getting signed and booked.
But taking that time,
where the industry pro is already fully aware that this is an opportunity to scout talent and see what you have,
and taking that time to only ask,
are you taking new people on your roster, or can we email you our demo?
It's actually a waste of a golden opportunity.
And here's why. Perspective is your passport. And this honestly goes for anything.
If you understand where someone else is coming from, one, most of the time, that eliminates possible offense.
And two, you can understand what their problems are and how you can solve them.
And three, you're establishing a give and take relationship versus a take relationship. So how can you gain a casting director, or agent, or creative director, or producer's perspective?
By taking opportunities like our Industry Pro workout with the Atlanta Voiceover Studio, which is kind of elite since people who get the Monday morning email newsletter are the only ones who can actually sign up.
You can also take those opportunities to meet industry pros through conferences and workshops. And when you do, what types of questions should we as talent be asking?
Well, there's a few things. Day-to-day tasks is a good start. If you understand what their day-to-day looks like, you'll begin to understand how much margin that industry pro has to answer your email.
It'll also give you a good perspective on how you can help eliminate and not add to their task and to-do lists.
You'll begin to understand what all is involved in their job and get a good idea of their possible priorities as they walk throughout their day.
So what are those types of questions? Well, it could be things like, what does a typical day look like for you?
What's the favorite part of your job? What's your least favorite?
What is the biggest misconception about what you do?
As talent, we have our own set of frustrations and problems that arise, depending on the day and who we work with.
Agents, managers, CDs, producers, they all have those things as well, so ask them about it. Understanding their biggest problems and frustrations will give you a good idea about how you can possibly help solve them.
As voice talent, we're the product. Successful products solve problems, and you must understand the problems before you can offer the solution.
Some other examples of questions that you could ask are, how can voice talent make your job easier?
What's the greatest hurdle you face with clients?
What do you expect from talent?
If it's an agent, the question you could ask is, are you open to a talent not on your roster bringing you a client? And if so, what can talent do to make that an easy account for you or for it to make sense?
That's a really good one. Another one that I like is how can talent best prepare for blank, like agent representation or a session or an audition, etc., based on what they do.
Focusing on who they are is a valuable part of understanding the industry professional. This biz is totally relational.
So finding out a little more about them as a person really helps you connect with them on a relational level.
You become memorable when you can connect with them as a person.
Some sample questions might be, what would you be doing if you weren't an agent or CD or creative director?
What do you like to do in your free time?
What's been your most favorite project to work on? Or what have you been the most proud of in your career?
We get it. I get it. Coming up with questions, especially if you're an introvert like I am, it can be tough. But I found that when I find it's tough, it's probably because I'm actually focused on myself and not them.
Listening in to someone's story, they're bound to give you more information on who they are and what they like. All we have to do is, and here's the word we frequently mention, listen.
It's counterintuitive, but by focusing on someone else, it just makes them want to lean into you and us more. And you may make a professional connection out of it.
Or you may even make a friend, or both. Hopefully this helps spark some inspiration for the next time that you are able to be in a session with an industry pro.
We hope this helps you out in your voiceover journey. And if you ever have any questions, you can always reach us at the Atlanta Voiceover Studio or provoiceovertraining.com.
If you want to sign up for a newsletter, you can do that at the bottom of atlantavoiceoverstudio.com. It comes out each Monday and always includes useful tips to help your voiceover career.
We have podcasts on Apple or wherever you like to go and listen, as well as other videos up here on this channel as free resources to help you learn and grow.
We'll see you next time.
We just sit there with our eyes wide open, tails wagging. And for me, in the past, I've sat there like Chris Farty. Chris Farty.
Save that.
Chris Farty. If you'd like to continue your voiceover training, head on over to provoiceovertraining.com where you can take classes on demand in video form.
Or if you'd like to take classes in person or live via Zoom, you can go to atlantavoiceoverstudio.com and look under classes and workshops in the menu.
Thanks for watching, and keep checking back for more videos to help you in your voiceover journey.